Hi, welcome back to Ask Ellen. Real questions, real talk, real change. I'm Ellen, I'm a personal coach, and I like to help women get through the hiccups and the bumps in their lives so that they can just move on and have a happier life. We're just a few days away from New Year's and New Year's Eve, and I really wanted to stop and talk to you about something that I think is important, something that maybe not everybody talks about, and it's letting go of the year that you're, leaving. So in this case, we're ending 2025 and moving into 2026. How do you let go of something, that you lived? This doesn't mean that you have to let go of absolutely everything in the year. After all, I don't expect you to have amnesia. It just means that the tough times that you went through or the times that actually hurt you, you don't need to bring them into the next year. Those are usually, because they are tough and because they have hurt you, those are usually the times that you learn the most, you gain the most insight into your life and also into you. So it's now a time of reflection, letting go of that hurt, letting go of that pain, and learning, what you learned. Figuring out what you have learned so that you can move forward into the next year. You need to remember where you've been so that you can know where you're going. If you don't know what you've learned, you don't know how to bring it into the next year. Before you set goals or start strong or make 2026 the best year ever, you need to figure out what you already went through. Find out those strong points that made you even stronger, and find out those weak points that you can grow from. This is the time to release what doesn't work anymore, to release what doesn't fit your narrative so that you can move on. So why do we hold on to years long after they end? Well, there's a few reasons why we do this. And believe me, it's natural, it's normal, but sometimes it's not the most healthy for you. We replay things that we wish we could have done differently. We hold on to shame for the choices that we've made. We carry resentment from situations that may have hurt us. We also carry resentment for others who may have hurt us. We stay attached to the expectations that we put on a certain thing that just never happened. Even expectations of ourselves. And we grip onto stories that no longer fit into our life, into who we are. This isn't about pretending that everything was fine and that everything was perfect. It's about giving yourself permission. How weird is that? But giving yourself permission to stop reliving it. The things that we usually hold on to are the things that were probably painful, things that probably hurt us, things that we're not really ready to acknowledge. But the truth of the matter is, those things that hurt us, those things that were painful, are usually things that teach us. They're usually the things that help us grow. So instead of just holding on to it and not actually processing what that pain or hurt was, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't help us grow. It doesn't help us learn. It doesn't help us be stronger. But I'm here today asking you to try to look at those points in the year that may have hurt you, that may have been hard, that may have been a struggle for you, and look to see what it was that you learned from that experience. This is going to be different for everyone, but it's huge, and it helps you tremendously if you can step back and look at it through loving eyes for yourself, for the person that you were and the person that you want to be. We want to reflect but we don't want to spiral. Spiraling doesn't help anything, but reflection is beautiful and it helps us grow. Sometimes we say, "Oh, I'm so glad that this year is over." Or we'll say things like, "I am so done with this year." But those are both very vague terms. They don't help you at all. They're just acknowledging that there was a struggle, but it's not telling you or your mind or your heart what that struggle was. People often think that letting go means to ignore what happened, but it doesn't. This means looking at the year that you're ending with, in this case, looking at 2025 with honesty, without judgment. This is for you after all. And why would you want to judge yourself? That's not going to help anything, and it's especially not going to help you. Reflection is awareness. Spiraling is self-blame. Reflection helps you grow. And spiraling, well, it keeps you stuck. We want to be able to move into a new year, not stay in the old one. That's not going to help anyone. Ask yourself this: what did 2025 teach me? Before we go into an exercise that might help you clear some things that happened in 2025, let me just talk about some things that you might be holding on to that you don't have to carry into 2026. One thing is old mistakes. You made a mistake, move on. What was the mistake? Was it really that bad? If it was really bad, how or what's the way that you would do that differently? What did you learn from that mistake? Mistakes happen to everyone. You will always be making mistakes. But the truth is, if you don't learn from the mistake, you are bound to repeat it. So you don't have to bring them into the new year. Let's release them. Roles you've outgrown. Maybe you're the peacemaker of your friends, or maybe you're the overachiever, or maybe you're the submissive person that just lets people tear you down. Just because you've been that person in the past doesn't mean you have to continue doing this. If there's something that you don't like, a habit you're doing, or a role that you're playing constantly, but you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you say, no more. It's okay to leave that behind and move forward in the person that you want to be. Another thing that you don't have to carry into 2026 is the whole people-pleasing patterns. I know, I suffer from it too. I always want to make people happy. I want to help people. That's in my nature. However, are you pleasing people and that's all you're doing? Or are you the person that's doing all the helping, but no one helps you when you need it? You might look at those patterns and realize you don't want to do it anymore. And you know what? It's okay. If you don't want to, don't do it anymore. Relationships that drain you are another thing you don't have to bring into the next year. And it doesn't matter what that relationship is. A boyfriend, a family friend, a family member. If someone's draining you, again, taking without helping you or without being able to take some of your burden, you don't need to keep doing that. And if all of a sudden now you're realizing that, hey, this is happening and you don't want it anymore, you can leave it behind. Unfinished goals. You know the ones. Hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You've made the list, all these things. But then when you look and you realize you haven't done it, you start feeling guilty, sad, upset with yourself. Any number of those type of feelings. But the truth with these unfinished goals, don't forget they're your goals. So if things have changed, maybe your goals need to change too. You don't have to be upset with yourself because something didn't happen. Find out why it didn't happen and learn from that. Once you realize what happened, now you can move on. The last thing that I'm bringing up today as something that you don't have to bring into the next year is the story that your worth depends on your productivity. Who says? You have to realize that you're doing the best that you can at any given time. There is no playbook. We're doing the best we can. So if you think that you didn't do enough, that because you didn't achieve whatever it is that you think you were supposed to achieve, that somehow someone can think that you're not worth attention or praise, that's not how it goes. Do the best you can. Learn from the experience. Maybe you realize that you couldn't do so much because something else was in your way, or you found something else that you wanted to do more. It doesn't mean that anything's wrong. It doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. It doesn't mean that anything is bad. It just means you're human. And you need to just learn from what it was and move on. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It just means freeing yourself from those things that will hold you back. So here's a powerful exercise that I hope that you try. It's simple, it's quick, can be done over and over again, but it might help you move on. So there's 2 questions that you need to ask yourself. 1, what am I still holding on to from 2025? And 2, do I want to carry this with me in the new year? They seem pretty easy, right? Let me give you some examples. A fight that you had with your spouse or a friend. Sure, you were right, they were wrong, or maybe you were wrong, they were right, but somehow that rift is still there. Is that something that you want to bring in to the next year? Or do you want to make peace with it right now? Maybe even apologize so that you don't have to hold on to it, so that it can be let go. A disappointment or maybe a broken expectation. Again, is this something that you want to carry into the new year? What else are you holding on to from 2025? A fear? A version of yourself that maybe you've outgrown? And again, is this something that you want to carry into the new year with you? They're 2 simple questions. And maybe take a few minutes to just think about them. Write down your answers. Maybe write down a list of the things that you think you're still holding on to. And one by one, go through them and give yourself permission to let things go if you don't need them anymore. Figure out what it was. Maybe apologize. Maybe forgive yourself. Do the thing that you need to do so that you can just release it. Make yourself more confident, happier moving into the next year. Maybe 2025 wasn't the year you thought it would be. Maybe it surprised you. Maybe it broke you open in ways you didn't expect. Maybe you were hurt by someone. Maybe you were disappointed by someone. But you're not the same person who started this year. You're someone new. Are you wiser? Are you more aware? Are you more honest, especially with yourself? Are you stronger than you think? Are you clearer on what you might want now and for your future? Do you know what no longer fits you, your life, your attitude, your version of you? Now is the time to let go of the version, that old version of you who didn't know the person you were going to be right now. Now's the time to embrace that new you and move forward. You don't have to drag this year into the next one. You're allowed to release the pressure, release the pain, release the guilt, release the expectations, and the stories that kept you small. Let go of 2025. Walk into 2026 lighter. Walk in with truth, not the baggage that, well, we want to leave behind. In making this video, it occurred to me that waiting until December to let go, to release, to grow is actually too much for most people. So I've decided moving forward in this upcoming year, I'll be doing a releasing video or maybe even a live stream. Let me know if you want something like that at the end of every month. We'll go over the steps to have you look at the great things that happened to you during the month. Make a list of the things that didn't go so well or may have hurt you. Figure out what you've learned from those hurts and be able to release things month by month so that we can grow stronger and more confident throughout the year. We don't have to wait until December. By December, for me at least, I don't even remember last January. It was so long ago. May? Are you kidding me? I'm lucky if I remember November. So, if it would help me, I'm guessing it might help you too. If there's something specific you want me to talk about, please let me know. But I'd really like for you to tell me, what is it that you will be releasing from 2025 so that you can move forward stronger, more confident, and happier for 2026? Please add them in the comments so that I can see what you will be releasing. I'm very excited to find out. I thank you so much for being part of my channel, for watching these videos and participating. I thank you for visiting Ask Ellen, where we have real questions, real talk, real change. Have a great new year, and I'll see you in the next one.